Hey friends, it's Laura. Welcome back. So today we're back at the temperature blanket. I know it's been about a week or two, um, but I did say when I was done finishing up the temperature blanket that I would come back and we would work on the border. As you can see, I've already started the border. Um, let me tell you a little bit about the temperature blanket. So turn your volume up, come in a little close, and let me tell you about the stupidity that is this temperature blanket. Because oh boy, it is this blanket is not working out. Excuse me. This blanket is problematic, and it's my fault because I didn't take into account things that might happen, knowing that this blanket was maybe going to take me 2 years to finish. I didn't even that didn't occur to me first off, that this blanket was going to take me 2 years to finish. But here's what happens when a blanket takes you 2 years to finish. Little thing called tension happens, and the tension of, because this blanket, if any of you remember, this blanket is double-sided. So one side is different from the other. One side is, this side is January through June, and this side is July through December. What happens when you take 2 years to finish a blanket and you do the first half 1 year and the second half another year is that, you know, there might be life stressors going on and your tension might change. So what happened was the first half of the year was quite loose. Apparently I was quite relaxed. And the second half of the year is quite tight. Apparently I'm quite tense. I know I'm tense, but I didn't realize it was reflecting in my crochet. So let me show you what happened. Let me show you what happened first. There's two things that happened. One, you see this gray line right here? This is the end of December. This is all the way out here. This is, I can't remember if this is the beginning of January, right? Yeah. Sorry, this blanket is so heavy. I'll tell you about that in a second too. So this is the end of December, and I think this is the beginning of January. I think I did it that way, so it would be one continuous loop from front to back. Yeah, because this is not June. These colors are not June. So this is January, this is December. This should be like this. But there is such a tension gap. At first I thought I missed a month, and I had to go back and double check and count all the rows. Like, no, I didn't miss a month. My tension changed so much from last year to this year that there is a huge gap. So that happened, and then because the tension changed top to bottom, it also changed. It's a little hard to tell. It's a little hard to tell with it sitting on the desk right here, but I'll show you. The tension changed side to side as well. So now the blanket is kind of like curled on the side because this front piece is much shorter this way than the back piece because the tension was so much looser on the back piece. So this blanket is a nightmare. And I'm glad to be almost done with it and never have to think about it again. It is, however, very, very warm. Far too warm for the climate I live in. My mom asked me how heavy it was, and I told her it weighs 2 cats. And I haven't weighed it yet, but I'm guessing it weighs between 15 and 20 pounds. It is very heavy. So it's going to give you a little that was like December to July. And then if you flip it over, this is June. All the cooler months. So it's a biggin, and today we're going to, I've got the gray over here. I've got quite a few skeins of this gray, so I'm gonna have to do something else when I'm done with this. But I've got so many skeins left from this project, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Hang on, where am I? Start over here, and I apologize if this blanket hits the microphone. I'm trying really hard not to. Let's just go. Make sure that corner looks okay. At this point, I don't even care what it looks like. The whole thing is wonky. So I hope all of you are doing well. I hope those of you who celebrated Thanksgiving had a good day. I forgot to make a community post. Our days were a little bit hectic. We made our own Thanksgiving dinner so we could have leftovers at home, like for the next few days. But then we also went over to my aunt's house, aunt and uncle's house. And let me zoom in just a little bit. And brought some stuff to go eat over there. And so consequently, we're having, we get to have Thanksgiving again for dinner tonight. So probably the last night. We made the best gluten-free stuffing. Oh, it was so good. We used a gluten-free boxed stuffing, and then we were going to add cornbread, but it got left in the oven a little too long. So we just used the box stuffing, and then we added dried cranberries, like craisins, and chopped pecans and chopped apples, and put all that in the oven. It was very good. And then I made an almond cake in my new bundt cake mold. Excuse me. Very allergic today. Sorry. That is just a common theme with me, though. My bundt cake mold is, it looks like a little pine forest with a hole in the middle. I sprinkled it with powdered sugar, like for snow. It was cute. We had a nice time. It was, I find social gatherings to be taxing, even though it is family. It's just difficult for me. I don't really know how else to explain it. It's very overwhelming. So, but it was nice, and I'm glad we did it. Next up is Christmas. My great uncle is having his surgery this week, and then pretty soon after he starts chemotherapy and radiation. So, I don't know, sorry. I don't mean to be quiet. My mind is just wandering. Every time I say something, my mind starts wandering. Gotta get back in the habit of making videos and being chatty. There's a lot going on. A lot of tension. It's no wonder my crochet is tighter. I'm so looking forward to being done with this project. Working on it for 2 years. I'm so out of practice crocheting big things because my arms and hands hurt. Like even just working on this. Today or tomorrow or this week we're going through, I have Christmas bins of my own since moving out of my parents' house. I have Christmas bins of my own that I've started collecting my own ornaments, you know, that weren't given to me necessarily as gifts, you know, just like ornaments to just, you know, basic ornaments to put on my tree. And all the ornaments that were given to me as gifts, you know, when growing up, kind of got left in the storage unit. And so this weekend and this week we're going to, because you probably won't, you might see this today, I'm not sure. Today's Sunday. If I remember to upload this tonight, you'll see it today. But maybe this week, or maybe today, I don't know, we'll start going through ornaments. And my plan is, I just don't have room to keep all of the ornaments that everybody has given me over the years. You know, I'll probably keep a couple, like from, you know, people who have passed, and then my plan is, you know, Shutterfly? My plan is to take, I bought a pack of Christmas scrapbook paper at Michael's, and I'm going to take photos of the ornaments and any inscriptions on them on top of the scrapbook paper. And then I'm going to Photoshop them together into scrapbook pages, and make a Shutterfly photo book out of them. Kind of like a ornament memory book. So I don't need to keep all of the ornaments, but I'll have the memories from them. And I just kind of wanted to share that idea in case, you know, maybe you're my age and you're in that position where you still have all of your ornaments from, you know, every year growing up. You know, I don't have all the ornaments from every year growing up, but I have a lot. And I just don't need them. I don't ever put them up on my tree anymore. I'm more the kind of person that likes the I don't know, my tree is just kind of, I don't necessarily need my tree to be nostalgic. So I just, sorry, we're getting, my pile of crochet is getting, the blanket's pushing the crochet up too far. So I need, and I don't have the room. We're getting rid of the storage unit, and everything has to fit in my attic along with everything else that's in my attic. So, oh, sorry, Clover. Clover just, my baby, my kitty, Clover just came in and heard me talking and immediately turned around and left. He didn't want to participate. I think I'll probably do, this is the third row around, I think. I might do one more row after this, and then I think I'll probably call it good. I did want kind of a thick border, but honestly this blanket is getting so heavy that I just don't think it needs all the extra yarn. But yeah, that's my Christmas ornament plan for this year, is to make a memory book. And Shutterfly is always having sales. I'm on their email list because I've ordered from them before, and they're just constantly having flash sales. So at some, you know, even if I don't get the Christmas book like for Christmas, you know, I'll get it, you know, relatively soon. Oh, I forgot to show you what else I did. Okay, so see these little gray markers here? These show where each month is divided. So here's another one. And some of them go back further, like this one didn't go back as far for some reason. But they show where each month is divided, so you can see where the month starts and where the month ends. I did that on the other side too. See, here's one right here. So that's how you can tell, because I saw a lot of people were doing like white stripes. in between each month, but I didn't really want that big differentiating line. So I just wanted like some little markers. And I think this turned out well. I can honestly say though, I don't know if I'll ever do another temperature blanket again. I don't think I have enough mental capacity to commit to doing it for an entire year. You know, in 1 year, in 1 calendar year. And clearly doing it within 2 years is a bad idea for me because my tension changes. So, I don't know. We're going to get to the end of this row and then we're going to call it good because this thing takes forever. It's such a big blanket. I can't imagine. I've seen people do temperature blankets where they're like king size blankets. I just can't even imagine. That's a lot of dedication. Could not be me. First off, I don't have a king size bed, but you know, even if I did, like, I have a queen size bed. I could have done a queen size blanket, but that, I think the king size works better because of the length that the blanket ends up being. King size is just a little longer than a queen, I think, but I guess if I did a queen, it would just be an oversized blanket. I don't know, this is, yeah, I don't know, I don't think I'd ever put a crochet blanket that I made on my bed anyway. You know, I have a cat, and you know, he gets sick occasionally, and you know, I want stuff that can easily go in the wash. And you know, when you have a cat also, you get cat fur over everything. My bedroom is just a cat fur magnet. Even though I wash stuff regularly, there is just cat fur on everything. So, even on stuff he doesn't touch, there's cat fur all over it. So, just from being in the vicinity with him. So I tend to put my crochet blankets like in the living room where he doesn't hang out. I don't know why he doesn't hang out in the living room. He used to, but he doesn't anymore. He used to hang out on the recliner, and then he switched over to the sofa, and he used to sleep on the sofa for a long time, so I got him a blanket for the sofa so he wouldn't fuzz up the sofa so much. I wouldn't have to keep cleaning it. I could just wash the blanket. That was over a year ago, and he hasn't slept there since, so I just removed the blanket, and I'm sure since I removed the blanket, he will go back to sleeping on the sofa. So let's leave it there. We're almost at the corner. I'm just not going to go all the way to the corner. So this is the, you can tell this is the warmer side of the blanket. So this is the June to December side. Here's another thing that I will never do again. Just FYI for you. You see all these, like, can you see all these little nubbies? I don't know if I'm close enough that you can see these. There's all these little nubbies, little frizzy ends sticking out. Little bumps sticking out everywhere. That's because I crocheted in the ends. Because I didn't want to have to weave in 365 ends, because that just pained me to think about. Well, crocheting them in didn't leave a very nice look. Some of them are kind of like, some of them are kind of popping out. It's not a very nice look. It's not very even. Even though I pulled as I went, it's not even. It doesn't look very nice. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend taking your time, and even if you did it when you were all done with the blanket, just, you know, watch some TV and wove in ends. I just would recommend doing that. Just a little tip from my mistake. So, like I said, I think I'll do one more row, because that's 1, 2, 3. There'll be 4 rows. I wanted it to be like out here, but that is so much yarn. And I'm so over this project. So, yeah, we're just going to do one more row, and then we're going to call it good. And good enough is good enough. And we can move on to the next blanket. I have another blanket going that we started, the plant inspired blanket, the green one that I kept. I got rid of some other yarn from other blankets that we had been working on, and I just decided I wasn't going to finish them. So I decided I was done with those projects, but I kept the plant inspired one. And then I got some new yarn that I really like working with. It's the macchiato cakes from Karen. And I'm going to make a blanket out of that. I have to decide the stitch though. I don't want it to be just like a basic single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, you know, something like that. I want it to be a fancy stitch. So I have to decide that. And then I was going to tell you, it'll be here in a few days. We'll see how it goes. I got one of those, I say relatively inexpensive knitting machines. You know, it wasn't an Addy knitting machine. It was a Centro. And it was on Black Friday sale. So it was relatively inexpensive. Still a chunk of money. But, you know, it was, compared to the Addy, it was relatively inexpensive. And it had very mixed reviews. So I'm a little nervous. I'm going to use it right away and make several hats. And that's what I'm going to do with all this extra yarn that I have from this project. I'm going to make hats. And the reviews were either it worked really well or it was a piece of trash. So I really hope it works, because I really like the idea of the knitting machine. I really like how they look when they come out from the knitting machine. I really like how the hats look. And I like making hats to donate at the end of the year for, I usually donate them to an organization here that just hands them out to people who need them, and anybody who needs them can take one. And I'm doing my usual making scarves. I got fleece to make scarves. I'm doing this year, and I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore because it really hurts my back. I'd really like to do the hats, because that won't hurt my back, I don't think. And but I got the fleece, so I need to make the scarves this year and get them donated. But yeah, so that's my plan for all the leftover yarn from this project, and I have a lot of it because I overbought. So yeah, I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your week, or upcoming week, good upcoming week. I hope it's stress-free, peaceful. I hope if you're going to work that it's a good work week. I hope if you're at home it's a good home week. I will see you. The next video you see will be a finished project video of this. I'll probably lay it out like on my recliner or something and show you the front and the back, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Because like it's really hard to show you like right here. So yeah, I will see you all again very soon, and then we'll start something else. Okay, and hope until next time, everyone take care, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.